Aloha, I'm Andrus-Price, and welcome to Finding God in Gourmet. Today we are going to make crab salad in two different ways. And this is imitation crab salad because I went to Costco the other day and I saw that crab meat was $38 a pound. And so it's like, okay, I looked in my freezer because I am famous for having stuff in there that I forget about. And I had what's called Kani Kama imitation crab meat, which it just means leg style imitation crab meat. I live in Hawaii, so a lot of times there's actually a strong Japanese influence. So I'm going to start with that. And because I had mine in the freezer, it had a little bit of extra fluid, but it comes like this in a wrapper. You see there's a little wrapper on that. So I take it out of the wrapper, and over the sink, I fold it in half and I give it a good squeeze to get out the extra fluid. And then I usually cut it in thirds, and then I get a fork and I flake it just to help, you know, fool you into thinking that you're eating real crab meat. And it also makes it easier to eat. So I just do that. So there's the 10 ounces of imitation crab meat. And then I like to add my spices next. This is half a teaspoon of bay seasoning. And I am a garlic salt lover. So I put garlic salt in everything. You don't need to, but I think it adds a nice little zest. And then I have just 1 tablespoon of minced sweet purple onions, half a cup of chopped celery, and also, I'm sorry, that is half a cup. This is about 3/4 of a cup of cilantro. I love cilantro, so I add it in many things. And then I have a cup of mayo. Just plop that in there. And then I'm also going to add a cup of grated fresh Parmesan cheese. And I'm doing it in this because, one, I want you to be able to see what it looks like as I'm mixing it. And then two, if you decide to bake this, you already have it in the pan that you can use. So that's one less dish to wash. So I mix it all up. And then I am going to add, I usually add half squeezed lemon. But the lemon that I had today was huge. So I'm just going to quarter it because this is half of the lemon. That's pretty big. So I'm just going to quarter it. It's nice to have that little bit of zest, tang in there. And as you can see, that's a lot of juice, and that'll be just right. And you're going to want to put your hand over it so you catch the seeds. You can see that. Yep. And then I'll put that in my lovely compost pile. And then I'll continue mixing it till everything is together. And so if you're going to bake this, it's super easy. All you have to do is put the oven on 350 for about 20 minutes, just until it's nice and cheesy. And if you are going to bake it, I would add just a little bit more cheese on the top. And when it comes out of the oven, I would add a little bit of green onions on top of the cheese and some capers, just to sprinkle it on and make it look nice. But let's go with the stuffed tomatoes. So I cut my tomato like this. I remember when I was young, my mom always used to stuff tomatoes like this. So what you do is you get a serrated knife and you stick it right through the middle. And you want to make sure that it goes to the middle because you want it to open up well when you're done. And you just zigzag around it. It's kind of juicy. And I had done most of it already. And then you just open it like this. And then, you know, sometimes there's a little extra tomato stuff that you can take out because you really want to fill as much crab salad as possible. So those are both nice. So I'm going to take this mixture and just stuff it. Yummy! And this mixture will make a lot of stuffed tomatoes. So I usually do 4 to 6 because it's just me and my husband now. But this is enough to do maybe 5 tomatoes, meaning 10 of these. And then it's important to plate it in a nice plate. That always makes it look nice. And I like to garnish with a little bit of green onions and capers. And then at the very end, I like to sprinkle it with a little bit of black sesame seeds. So if you can see that, let's show you there. Yummy! So I believe that God speaks to us through food. And usually when I'm cooking, I get some kind of message or a reinforcement of life's lessons. So one of the things that I was reminded of today was, you know, if you can't afford $38 a pound for crab meat, there's always options that are just as good. So one is to be thankful for what you have. And in this, with all the craziness going on in the world with war and hate crimes, be thankful that you have something to eat, let alone something so delicious. So my intent, something that I'd really like to, I guess, create a movement on, and I hope it'll interest you, is that in order for us to counterbalance all of the craziness and all the hate that's going on in the world, one way to do it is to make every meal a means of experiencing love. How do you do that? Well, you're grateful for what you have. You enjoy, if you're cooking it, you enjoy. Look at the redness of those tomatoes. That is just astounding. And take in the smells and take in, of course, the taste. Yum. And then think about how else can you experience the love? Well, if you're being served the food, whoever made the food took time and effort and hopefully put some love into it. And if you're making the food, I invite you to consciously put love in it because it is, you can taste it. And I hope that you have experienced that. So that is it for today. And I thank you so much for joining me today. If you want more recipes, you can find more on my YouTube channel, which is this is what you're probably watching. Or you can find me on findinggodandgourmet.com. I have lots of recipes there. And then I have recipes for delicious living, which means it's suggestions on how to live a fulfilling and extraordinary life. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Till next time, take care now. Aloha.